Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar of Media Post Hitmail. This is one of the many webinars that we are doing and organizing together with our colleagues in the last few months. All of them are, of course, dedicated to e-commerce and especially e-commerce in Central and Eastern Europe. My name is Hristo Radicev and I am the country manager of Media Post Hitmail. I am here together with Elena. Hello, Elena. I hope that you can hear us.
Yes, of course. Hi, Hristo.
So first thing first, this is what we will be talking about during the webinar. These are the main topics. And first, we will show you some data about e-commerce in Central and Eastern Europe, which is quite updated. I mean, we have found the freshest data that we could identify on the market, and we will share it with you. Then we will talk a bit about the e-commerce business, and of course, we will show you some tips and tricks on how to save time, efforts, money, and in other words, how to do what each of the e-commerce businesses are willing to do to sell more to more people. And of course, we will show you some examples about businesses that we have helped to develop their sales in Central and Eastern Europe. But first of all, a little bit of introduction. Eli, it's your turn.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Elena Grozeva, and I'm project manager in Media Post Hitmail. I coordinate various projects on international markets and guide e-commerce owners through their journey in cross-border e-commerce and expansion.
And as I told you, my name is Hristo Radicev. I'm the country manager of the company. Almost all my professional career is in marketing. I'm working with the bigger international clients that our company has, and we help them sell more in more than 10 European markets. I am also responsible about the strategy, and one of the pillars of our strategy of our company is electronic commerce, especially when it comes to cross-border. And especially when it comes to Central and Eastern Europe, where we have the best knowledge, I would say. So these are the markets on focus. The reason to put them like this is purely geographical, because these are the markets that we consider to be in Central and Eastern Europe. Of course, Austria is a bit under question, but still, I think it is good to know what are the differences between the markets. And also we have included two of the markets which are out of the European Union. And this is intentional because we want to show what is the difference of being out and inside the European Union in terms of easiness of sales and available options to as sales channels and so on. So few remarks about the region. I always suggest that e-commerce retailers should consider the region as being a whole market. I mean, don't consider Central and Eastern Europe to be separate markets. Consider it as a region. Because there are many options to expand your business online in each of these markets. Of course, it takes a bit of an effort because you need to, to translate and adapt your e-commerce website or your marketplace listings or your products information. But at the end of the day, you have a good possibility to cover more available markets and to sell more to more people. Of course, the population of the region is an important factor, and if you see, it is more than 120 million people. And of course, there are some fluctuations, but more or less the region is stable in terms of population. The number of e-shoppers is growing continuously. Now it is exceeding 80 million people. And the B2C e-commerce turnover is growing each year, but by at least 15%. Last year it was 16.3. So it reached 75, almost 75 billion euro. This is the turnover by countries. All of them are growing. Excuse me. Some of them are growing quickly. Some of them are growing at a slower pace, but nevertheless, the average growth for the region is, as I told you, around 16%. Of course, the biggest market in the region is Poland in terms of population, but also in terms of e-commerce turnover. Then follows Greece, which is quite an interesting market, quite big, and at the same time very encapsulated, I would say. I mean that the Greek customers are willing to buy from Greek and international e-commerce retailers, but e-commerce retailers from Greece are seldom expanding into other markets. Of course, this is also partially due to purely geographical limitations, but in the last year, I am seeing more and more Greek companies opening towards the European market. Of course, logistics infrastructure and also courier delivery networks are helping this to happen. On the third place, there is the Czech Republic, which is, I would say, one of the most interesting markets in the region. Romania and Bulgaria are growing big time. They are among the champions, and of course, North Macedonia. But as you see there, the basis is quite low, so it is not a big surprise that Macedonia is growing so quickly. What is more important, I would say, is the expectation of growth of the markets, and also what is the average turnover per capita. We reach this number by dividing the total population and by dividing the total revenue, to the population of the country. And as you can see, the average e-commerce turnover per capita is the highest in Greece, which was not the case only 2 years ago. Greece was in the third place, but especially due to coronavirus and other factors, the Greek market expanded so that the population of Greece, which is around 10 million people or between 10 and 11 million people, is generating the highest turnover per capita. The average for the region is a little bit below 500 euro per year. But as you can see, there are few markets which are especially in the lower part of the segment, like Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Croatia, which are expected to grow each year by more than 10%. As you saw, Bulgaria is growing by approximately 30%. The same applies to the other markets marked with the yellow arrows. And this is an indication that we expect quite significant growth over time. And of course, the trend is that the population is going down in the region, but this applies to the whole Europe. The number of e-commerce shoppers is growing up alongside with the turnover. And of course, by having the market, by becoming the market more mature, the growth is slowed down. The most developed markets will grow at a slower pace. Of course, that didn't apply to the last 2 years, which were exceptional because of what happened with COVID. But we expect that the markets like the Czech Republic, Greece, and Poland, because of the situation, if it doesn't happen something extraordinary, will grow by, let's say, 8 to 10% on average in the next 5 years, sorry. So there are some reasons to consider the Central and Eastern Europe in your expansion strategy, especially if you are in some of the countries of the region. I will ask Elena to tell us a bit more about the potential for growth in this region. Eli?
Yeah, based on the data Christo presented and compared to the data we had last year, it is obviously that the CEE region is constantly growing market and has a big potential for growth in the next few years. Here in the region, the competition is lower compared to Western Europe, as Western markets is overcrowded and the offering of same products is at high percentage. The CEE region is still rather not that familiar yet for retailers or manufacturers. However, you must hurry up, I think, and take the wave, as we can see the big growth of the region from the last 2 years until now. There's still some attractive niche still not occupied, and you can benefit from lower marketing costs because of the lower competition, of course, in the region. And also the operation costs are not that high when we talk about fulfillment services, for example, as the warehouse rents and salaries are not that high compared to the Western Europe. The location of CEE gives a great opportunity from 1 or 2 key hubs in the region to cover whole EU with very good delivery time between 1, 2 up to 4, 5 working days. Christo,
I would add that the density of the market, which is not so populated with competitors, allows you to sell at a bit better margins compared to what you would have in Western Europe, simply because there the competition is so big and so strong that even if you have a decent margin, it will be eaten up by the relatively high marketing cost. So really, our region is quite attractive for e-commerce retailers who want to grow step by step, who want to try new markets, and at the same time are not ready for Western Europe, because believe me, there the market is quite quite dangerous, and also the investments to establish a brand there would be considerably higher compared to the one that we have in Central and Eastern Europe. So this is a good stepping stone that would prepare you for expansion in Western Europe. Let's continue with other specifics, Eli.
Yeah, cash on delivery is still the king. In the CEE region, the cash on delivery is the most popular payment method, especially when the online shop customers are buying from is not that well known. Even during the heart of COVID-19 pandemic, when the most of the carriers stopped accepting cash payments and moved to the card on delivery, which leads, of course, to higher processing fees, consignees continue to prefer paying on delivery rather than prepaying their orders. Last mile delivery experience is crucial. I must say that it is very important for both merchant and consignee how the shipment will be delivered. For both parts, it is crucial the order to be delivered on time without any delays, to get proper tracking and customer service feedback in case of an issue. Courier diversification is also a key point you should consider while delivering in CEE in order to be able to switch the carrier in any force majeure situation, and also to offer the ability the consignee to choose the courier he wants his order to be delivered with. Especially in Bulgaria, it is a must. In the region, you have local currencies in 9 out 20 countries, and also different VAT rates. Specifics you definitely must take into consideration, especially when it comes to accounting, local bank accounts, and reports you must provide to the financial authorities. 2 to 4 days for delivery are okay, but there are also exceptions because the fastest merchant usually gets the deal. Here I can talk again about diversification, which is your key advantage over your competitors. So do not hesitate to offer your customers different shipping methods. Let them choose whether they want to pay less and wait for their order for 5-6 days, or pay more and get the order on the next day. There's still strong local players for some categories. So it was never that important to know the market and your competitors. Invest some time and resources to make an initial research of the market, which will let you consider carefully your business model and expansion.
I would add that having so high rate of cash on delivery payments also means that returns are higher because cash on delivery is the most convenient payment method for the customer and the most inconvenient for the merchant. Many customers have the option to order something, to wait for it, and only when they see it to pay for it. And that leads to a relatively higher percentage of returns compared to other countries where usually merchants ship prepaid. So of course there is a workaround also for this issue. We will talk about it a bit later on. But now I would like to check your opinion about which is the most important element in e-commerce in your opinion. So what do you consider to be the most important in e-commerce? If you want to start selling online, and if you are active in your country, or if you want to go cross-border, what would be the most important element in your business? Of course, you are free to use the chat form. You can share your opinion in the chat. I will give you 1 minute to think about it and just to share in a very open manner, what do you think could be the most important? I encourage you to be braver. I know it is not a very difficult question, but of course there could be different opinions about it. Not so many brave people. So I will suggest my answer and our answer because we are confident about it. The most important element is the product. It's not the website. It is not the delivery speed. It is not the payment method that you offer. And it is not the carrier that or the courier company that you have chosen. It's the product. And having a great product means that you don't even need a great marketing, because if the product is good, you will definitely find ways to present it to the market. So I would say that the most crucial task for each e-commerce retailer would be the good quality product. Focus on the product, and you will see that for the other tasks that you might have as e-commerce merchant, there are plenty of solutions. So let's focus on the operational side. Once you have a good product and you want to make it popular in terms of Central and Eastern Europe or any other market internationally, you need several things. First of all, you need to focus on the data you have about the product. And by data, I mean all kinds of descriptions, translations, images, different videos that would show the best features of the product. Of course, the attributes, you know that the customers want to know whether this product is made of wood or made of leather, or what kind is the leather. And of course, you need some documents to prove whether they will be certificates, laboratory tests. Of course, it depends on the type of the product, but you have plenty of data about this product. It is not like I'm selling a pen. I must prove that this pen has certain features, that it is made of certain materials, and so on and so on. This is data that customers usually want. And the best way to use the data about the products and to proliferate it across different channels is a system. And usually in e-commerce, this system is called Product Information Management System, or PIM. The Product Information Management System is the single point of truth for the data of your products, because data of products can change over time. I mean, there could be new releases of the product with a different material, different size, different weight, optimized size for home decoration, let's say, or many other different changes in data. And in order to have the information about the product updated accurately across all the channels, you need any form of product information management system that guarantees you that you don't have to log in into several accounts where you are selling and change the data manually. You need something that is changing this data real time whenever somebody from your team is, or you personally, is doing a change in the characteristics. Of course, another thing that you should think about is the platform that you will use for your e-commerce website. It can be Shopify or OpenCart, or there are plenty of platforms available on the market. But again, you need, in most cases, you need a website or any kind of platform to sell your products on. And of course, if you are present in more than one market, in some cases, you will need to translate and adapt the markets. We have many cases where some of our clients are using one platform for their core market, and they are using another platform, or some others are sticking to the same platform, and so on. But you really even don't need a platform for e-commerce if you want to sell online, because you can choose to sell on marketplaces. There are plenty of marketplaces in the Central and Eastern Europe. All of them are more or less specialized in different in different product categories. But you have eMAG in several countries. You have Allegro also in several countries. In Poland, they have recently acquired Mall in the Czech Republic. You have Vivre, which are available in, I think, 8 or 9 markets. You have Scrooge in Greece and many other marketplaces. So really, you don't even need a website if you have some technical issues, or you don't have somebody to develop the website. As long as you have the product, you can sign a contract with some of the marketplaces and start selling your products there. And of course, you should think about who will process the orders. If you don't have the capacity to do so by yourself, you will need somebody to do it. You will need to ship these products to customers. For example, if you store your products in some of the EU countries and you get an order from another person living in another country, you need to think about shipping the parcel to this person. And of course, there is an issue sometimes with the information about the orders, because selling in so many different channels, for example, you are selling in the 3 available marketplaces for eMAG, which is Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary, and you are also selling in Allegro. That means that you will have 4 different sources of orders, and you have to unify this information. So if we, if we try to put this as a process and as a scheme, it would look something like this. In the center of the business is the product information management system, or the product, which is the most important component in your business. Then you have the orders, because somebody has to take care of them. The orders come from different platforms. They can come from either e-commerce platforms or marketplaces. And when the order is being placed, you should take care of the logistics. You should put somewhere these products, pack them, prepare them, and ship them to couriers. Of course, after that, you should take care of payments, you should take care of returns, you should take care of refunds if you have, because you know that in Europe, the law is always on the side of the customer. But consider this like ecosystem that you have to comply with if you want to be successful in your business. And what I want to say is that we at MediaPost Hitmail have established a robust ecosystem which serves you deal with all of these components. So you don't have to think about how to integrate with the marketplace, or how you will pull the data from your e-commerce platform, or how you will process the orders, or where you will stock the products that you have. We have thought about everything. And of course, if you have already a solution about it, you can choose to whether use some of these elements in this infrastructure, or to use them all. It is totally up to you. And of course, in order to sell more to more people and to more markets, you need new sales channels, which could be either the new versions of your e-commerce website or marketplaces. You need somebody who is able to translate and adapt the texts and the descriptions of your products, which is done through our associates in different countries. You can rely on customer service, because we have call centers in Bulgaria, and also in Romania, and also in other countries across Europe. If you need market research, which is quite important, and as Elena already mentioned, you can use our services, because we have done similar market researches for companies selling shoes, selling detergents, selling beer accessories, and any other type of products that you could imagine. And of course, you need somebody to deliver the products. If you are outside of the European Union, we also have a solution for this. The regulation is already in place in the European Union regarding this type of business. So in fact, you have all these services at your disposal. And the good thing is that you don't need to do more than one integration. You get everything under one roof only by integrating once with our platform. Of course, you can rely on additional services that you might need or might not need, like professional product images. We have a very good partner who is taking care of photo shooting and processing of images in accordance to the requirements of each of the marketplaces. You can use our platform to automate the communication with the customers when it comes, for example, sending automatic invoices or notification of order statuses and so on. It depends on whether or not your platform or your marketplace is doing this or not, or if you want to do it. And we can provide you with local addresses for your returns in more than 10 European countries. That means that if you ship something from, let's say, Bulgaria to Hungary, and if the customer decides to return the product, you don't have to pay for international courier service on the way back if you have to cover the costs. but you just provide your customer with a local address. The customer is sending the return to this address, and our partners in each of these countries are processing the parcel, and they are reporting directly into our system on whether the parcels has been damaged, or it is okay, or they just can accept it if you don't want to do these checks. And then we prepare the so-called master shipment and send it back. Of course, if you need some help with payment processing, as Elena mentioned, you have more than 9 currencies within the region. We are also partnering with a payment processing platform. If you don't have a working solution with your bank, or you don't use any of the fintech solutions that are available on the market. And we can show you 2 case studies in order to understand better what are we doing for some of our customers. Elena, could you please tell us a bit more about this?
Yes, the first case study is with our client Beer Addicted. It is an international website in English that is selling beer-related products like beer can openers, coasters, everything for beer lovers. They are selling in the CEE region and also Netherlands. But they prefer to keep their stock in one single warehouse here in Sofia. So we're providing them warehouse facilities and fulfillment for their orders, and also international cross-border courier delivery. They are using our network of local warehouses. As Christo mentioned, we can provide this service for returns handling, which is obviously more convenient to the consignee to return locally his shipment rather than send it internationally. We are taking care for their digital marketing campaigns, and also making their life easier with the product information management software, because except selling only through their website, they're also selling in eMAG marketplace and are about to start selling in Bol in the Netherlands.
We also have another example for you.
Yes, this client is a Turkish client that imports textile from Turkey to Bulgaria. Here the case is like the previous case study. We are providing them warehousing and fulfillment services, again in a single location in Sofia. They still do not have their own website. They are now selling in eMAG in Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary, and soon are going to add another countries like Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. We are helping them with the courier delivery and again with the product information management system. They offer different payment methods like cash on delivery, bank transfer, card payment, and etc.
Yeah, I would add here that we are also preparing them to list their products in Vivre marketplace, which is also available in most of the countries that you see on the slide. So in fact, only by putting the products in one country doesn't mean that you have to sell on this country alone. You have many options, and in fact, only on eMAG you have already 3 channels for the 3 different countries, and when we add Vivre, the 3 channels will become 11, because Vivre is available in 8 markets as far as I remember. And the only thing that you should take care of is to translate once your products on each respective language. Of course, we can help you with this, as I told you, because we have native speakers who are dealing with the translation of the product description. So you don't have to invest a lot in developing new websites for each new country. The best way to test the market is to put your products in some of the popular local marketplaces to check whether people will react positively, to check whether people will like your product. And once you are sure that there is a positive feedback from the customers, then you can start developing your local version of the website. To make a quick recap of what we were talking about, the things that you shouldn't forget is first to collect as many market data about your target market as possible. And by this, I mean not only the size of the market or data like how many e-shoppers there are, but also to collect useful information about local competitors, local habits, specific of the market. Then really consider the Central and Eastern Europe as a region, because if you go directly in several markets, you will start selling much quicker and much more compared to if you start selling only one by one. And with our platform, you can do this with a single integration. You just have to take care of the translations of the product, and from then on, you don't deal with any technical integration. Of course, you should consider that the product is the king. That's why I think that the team system of the product information management system could be your best friend when it comes to selling in several channels and in several countries, because this is the simplest way to save time and efforts in putting together the information about your products. And you know that whenever you update some of the elements of your products, they will immediately become available in all the channels that you are selling on. Consider this e-commerce infrastructure as available for you. It is at your disposal, so you can benefit from it, and you can start selling much quicker than if you go by yourself. Our estimations are that only by integrating with us, you are saving between 3 and 6 months of work, because we already have all of these options available for you. The system is modular, so you can cherry pick which service you can choose and which services you will handle by yourself. By this, I mean it is not mandatory to use our courier delivery if you have a good deal with some of the other couriers, or you can use them both. But in any case, you have many options to choose from and to implement once you need them. We have plenty of optional additional services, as I mentioned before. And of course, we showed you only 2 of the examples of businesses that rely on our services to expand their business. And this is the quickest way to reach more customers in more countries. This is our network. In each of these countries, we have either our own warehouse or we have a partnership warehouse, but all of these warehouses are interconnected within our platform. So once you store something in, let's say, Romania, and you want to move some stock in, let's say, France, there will be no issue for you, and you will not spend time and additional resources or technical implementations to integrate them. You just move the stock and you start getting reports about your stock in 2 different warehouses. You always have a dedicated contact person to guide you through working with our system and to help you with the onboarding and how to plan your expansion, which channels should you choose. You can always rely on our local knowledge about different markets. And of course, for each of the services, we have separate teams which are specialized in this kind of service. Of course, everything is done in full transparency. So at each moment, you know what is happening, what is going on, which integrations are in the scope of our services, and what do you need to do. If by any chance we don't have an integration with some of the platforms that you are using or some of the marketplaces, we will do this for you free of charge. So you don't have to think about additional technical resources. And this way, and only this way, you can rely on what really matters, which is developing your products and make them better and better. I would suggest that you consider MediaPost Hitmail as a supplier for your e-commerce business. Tell us a bit more about your online business. You will see our contacts at the end of the presentation. We will send you our honest feedback about whether do we think that your products have potential to sell in Central and Eastern Europe and how we can help you. If we see that we could be a good fit, you get from us 1 hour of free consultancy. This is without any commitment, so you can use our expertise on the local market to collect the information that you need, and you are not obliged to work with us, but I'm sure that you will see the added value that we can help you with. And this way you can start selling and you can start getting new customers in more markets much quicker than you can imagine, because the only thing that you have to do is to do your homework, to prepare well the data of your products, and we will of course help you about this, and of course to take care of the marketplaces and the e-commerce platforms that you are considering to use. Of course, we have a small bonus for you. If you still didn't have downloaded our ebook, it is free. It is in English. We will send you the presentation after the session, or you can directly visit the link that you see on your screen in order to download the book, which will help you establish your e-commerce expansion in the Central and Eastern Europe region. These are some of the clients that we work with. Some of them are pure e-commerce retailers. Some of them are big international companies, as you see. So we have plenty of experience in different sectors and different markets. And these are our contacts. So if you have any questions or comments, or you can send us some information about your business, please feel free to do so. So we are ready to answer all your questions if you have some. So please feel free to use the chat form if you have any questions, or send it on the Q&A section. We are here to help you with this. Do you have something to ask? Is there something that you didn't understand? Ellie, I will ask you kindly to check for some questions in the Q&A, because I cannot see them.
Yeah, we have our first question. Do we have to sign the contracts with the marketplaces ourselves, or you assist with this?
As a company, you have to sign a contract with the marketplace. Of course, if you have some, if you need some contacts, we can send you the contacts of the marketplace or the responsible people in the marketplace. But this is your job. Our platform is just helping you to integrate seamlessly with this platform and to start selling your products there. But it is your responsibility to sign the contract with the marketplace. It is not that like we are representing you. This is your business, and you should sign the contract with the marketplace.
Yeah, we have 2 more questions. Do we have to take care of the integration with the marketplaces? I think that we answered to that question during the presentation, but
you don't have to take care of the integrations. If you integrate once with our platform, from then on, all the integrations with all the marketplaces that you might need in Europe at all, or even in the USA, are free of charge. We will integrate them for you so that we can help you using them. So you don't need a technical person.
Yeah.
Technical persons are technical people are expensive nowadays, so you don't have to spend a lot of this. Rather, you can use this money and allocate it to, let's say, marketing efforts, or to speed up some product production, or to increase the number of the products that you have available. But there are wiser ways to spend the money on.
Yeah, focus on your product.
Yeah, focus on the product. Yeah.
And
Any
the last
other questions?
question. Yeah, the last one. Can I work through my own contract with the carrier, or I must use yours?
Both. You can use our courier rates, or if you have negotiated better ones with your courier, you can use theirs. If you need help with integrating the fulfillment center that will process your orders with the couriers, this is rather a task of the fulfillment center. But anyway, if you work in some of the fulfillment centers that we have integrated in our platform, you will see all the data in one place. This will be your, how to say, single point of reference for the entire e-commerce business that you have.
Okay, thank you, Christo. We don't have any other questions.
Okay, I hope that you found this session and this webinar useful. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to use our contacts. Send us your comments or questions, and we will reply to them immediately. Don't forget to download the ebook. We will send you shortly after the webinar is over. We will convert it into a video, and we will send you a link so you can watch it again if needed. And if you didn't understand anything, something, just let us know, and we will clarify this for you. Thank you very much for being with us today. We finished in 50 minutes, so I think it is more than we have planned. We have planned 1 hour for this. So feel free to come back to us, and take care. And we wish you a lot of success, and let us be together and help you conquest new markets. Thank you very much, and take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.